Yeah, when you hear the term percentile, that doesn't, like if you're talking about the percentile you made on a test, or your percentile rank on a test, that doesn't give you the percent of values that you got right, that were correct, or how your score was. It gives you, it's more of a ranking amongst all the scores on the test. Here's what kind of the definition is. For a distribution, the value x is in, or is the nth percentile if approximately n% of the values are less than x. Okay, so what the percentile rank gives you, like if you're in the 85th percentile, that means 85% of the values are less than that particular value. That's what it means. So 85%, that's a pretty good score, because 85% of them, the values are less. And then 25%, that means 25%. So it's not, you know, how many are correct if you're talking about a test. 85th percentile doesn't mean you got 85% correct. It means your score is better than 85% of the other scores. So it may be whatever it is, okay? That's what the percentile means. All right, so let's do an example here and kind of get the feel for how we do this. This is from the table in the book, so I guess I'll just write it up here since. Okay, so position, yeah, all right, so there it is. All right, so out of the book, here's, how many have I got? I think quite a bit. 40 values? Okay. All right, so we got 46, 51, 52, 55, 56, 256s, 58, 359s. It's the top line. Maybe I won't write them all here. Just a few. All right. Okay, so what this is 40, the number of customers on 40 days, of course, they are ranked here. And so we've got these, there's 4 rows of 10 values. So I don't have to write them all up here. The last one is, the biggest one's at 88. Okay, so just to get a feel for it. All right, it's out of the book, page 681 in this particular book. Okay, so this is 40 days, the number of customers at a restaurant on 40 different days, ranked in order. Okay, so let's first of all just figure out a couple of the percentile ranks with keeping in mind what the percentile means. Number 1 here, so let's get the percentile rank 58. So percentile means the number of values, basically it's the percentage of values less than the number we're talking about. Yeah, so I've got 58 up here. So to get the percentile, what you do is you take, basically equals, you take the number of values less than the one you're talking about. And we want to make this out a percentage, and so in this case I've got what? I've got 6 of them less. That's out of 40. And so you take the number of values less and divide by the total number there are, and that gives you an idea anyway. We might have to make a little bit of an adjustment there. But that's basically how you do the percentile. Take the number of values less and divide by the total number there are. So in this case, the percentile rank of 58, let's call it P58, I think is the way they'll denote this. So P58, I've got 6 values less, divide by, there's 40, four rows of 10, so that's 40 values. And so what do you get? 6 divided by 40, what do you get there? 0.15. And so, yeah, this is, we're talking about percent, that's 15%. And so P58 would be the 15th percentile. Oops. Wait a second. I did this wrong. Previous. It's not P58, it's P15. So 15th percentile, so that means 58 is P15. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's how the percentile is, the little subscript there that you want. We didn't know that until we calculated that. All right. So now this one, let's do 67. Quite good to 67. What's the percentile rank of 67? Well, that's going to be, all right, so the number of values, let's see, 67, I guess I can write it, write the line here. You got 3 66s, and then I've got 67 is the 4th one on that line. Oh, yeah, this is another point. Okay. There's 3 67s. What do you think about that? Well, the number of values, I want the number of values less than 67. So I wouldn't count those, right? I wouldn't start with this problem, 67. I just start with the 66, and then all the rest of them less. So I've got 3 on this line, and then 10, it's 23. 23 or less. Divide that by 40. Now here's the other thing that comes up. Don't think that's a nice little percent. 57.75, which is 57.5%, right? Well, percentiles, usually you just use whole number percentiles. So it's not quite 58 percentile, right? So let's just go with 57. We'll call it P57. So percentile rank of 67 is P57. Since it's not quite 58, kind of round it down there. Okay? So, that gives you an idea of what we're talking about here. Now, if we go the other way, let's think about that. A couple of them go the other way, and then we'll talk about one other little thing here. Which value would we say is the 25th percentile? Or P25? Which value, using the same data set there, which value is the 25th percentile? So we're going the other way about this. Well, again, thinking about it, 25th percentile means what? I want 25% of the values less right? That's what that means. So what's 25% of the values going to be? I've got 40 values, so when 25% of 40 less, which basically that just means multiply those two together. So I take 0.25 and multiply it by 40, which gives me 10. So that tells me I want 10 values less than my 25th percentile. So the number I choose, I'm going to choose the number that has 10 values less than that number. So looking at my list here, yeah, we've got enough on here to figure this out. So if I count off 10, of course each line is 10, so the 10th value is 59. So which one's the 25th percentile then? 60, isn't it? I'd go to the 60. Because 60 is the one that has 10 values less. So if this gives me 10, I go to the 11th value. You see what I'm saying? Because this is how many I want less, so I need to go to the next one. So I go to the 11th values, which is 60. So P25 is 60 in this particular case. With me? Question? Now, what about this one? The 88th percentile. Well, again, that means I want 88%, as near as I can get it anyway. So I need to do 88% of 40. So 0.88 times 40, which what does that give? 35.2. So I multiply those two together. So I need 35.2 values. So which value am I going to go to? Well, you know, 36th. It's, again, it's an approximate kind of thing, especially for this few of numbers, but yeah. So that gives me 35.2, so I need to go to the 36th value, and I don't have that one up here because this is 10, so this would be 20, that would be 30, so I need the 6th one here on this line. Let me write those down. No?
75.
Is it 75? Yeah, you got 70, 71 twice, and then 72, and then 75. So the 30, yeah, so the 36th value is the 75 right there. The 72 is the 30, wait. 30, is that the 30? Yeah, that's 75. Okay. Another way you could say percentile is, what percentiles do is it breaks it up into 100 equal parts. Percent is out of 100 sort of thing. So percentile is divided into 100 equal parts. That's another way to look at it. Now, what you'll sometimes also see, just FYI here, I don't know if there's any homeworks that have this, but we also can talk about deciles. And what deciles do, deci there, dec is 10. So deciles, that breaks the data up into 10 equal parts. So, you know, instead of first percentile, second percentile, you have just 10 deciles for the whole data set. So basically, each decile represents the 10th percentile is That's basically what, so if I have D1, that's the first decile, it's the first 10% of the values. That's basically what we're going to do for a decile. If it asks for the second or third, so the fourth decile, that would be dividing up into tens, so that would be the 40th percentile is more or less what you would do. So if you're calculating the fourth decile, just do 40% of the values. That would be your fourth decile. So anyway, just FYI, and then, you may have heard of quartiles. Quartiles, quarter, divides it up into 4 groups, so it's 25% each. So anyway, just FYI, in case there. Any questions or concerns?